Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. My name is Waseem Anwar. I am from Lahore, Pakistan. We are yet again back with an exciting and informative series of interviews, starting with one of the most dynamic men in ONPASSIVE. You all must have seen him on webinars and events, a man who possesses ample knowledge and carry a vision of bringing a change in the lives of people. He is a good singer and has lovely voice. He's from USA and leadership council member. We are lucky enough to get his learning and experiences. He is none other than Mr. Nashville Milo. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey,
I
how
warmly
you
welcome.
doing, Waseem? Thank you so much for having me on your show today. It's a great time, man. It's a great time. I understand you guys are celebrating Happy Independence Day,
Thank you very
and I
much.
got a surprise for you. Let me try to sing
Yes.
this.
Oh,
Jive, 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 Pakistan, 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 Jive, Pakistan.
wonderful.
Happy
You tried.
Independence Day.
Yes,
Man,
yes.
it's so good to be here with you.
Thank you very much. I was waiting for you in my webinar, but you were busy that time. I know you have busy schedule, so you sang this song for me. Thank you very much. Before this, Lirato Shadare came and she gave me surprise. And this is Pakistan national song. Or we love this song, and we love you too, sir. Sir, sir,
Oh,
let's start the question session. Sir, my first question is, we want to know about, tell me about your country. Are you originally from USA? Actually, many guests came in my show, they are from another country. So that's why this is my question. If you are live in USA, where you live in USA?
yes, I live in the USA. I was born in Texas, East Texas, and then
Oh,
I moved to all the way to Michigan. My dad was a minister, so we moved all the way to the UP. And then when I got married, I moved down by Chicago in Southwest Michigan, St. Joe, Michigan, at USA. And then when my wife passed away in 2012, I moved down to Nashville, Tennessee, and I absolutely love it in Nashville. It's Music City, USA.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I'm coming soon to USA. My immigration almost done, and my elder brother live in Texas also, and he live in Dallas, Texas. We'll meet you inshallah. So very soon. So, sir, tell me about your family, sir.
Absolutely. So I got married at the age of 19 to a beautiful woman, Peggy Sunman, and was married for 36 years. She passed away in 2012, but I have two beautiful daughters. I have Jessica, who was born, she has two children. I have a grandson, Cooper. I have a granddaughter, he's 18. I got a granddaughter, 16, named Reagan, and uh, and then I've got another daughter named Marla, and Marla has a daughter named Riley, and she's 10 years old.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. Lovely family. Sorry to know about your wife, but this is the natural God procedure. So what we can do, sir? Curtis Davis, sir, is your brother.
Hey, Curtis is my brother.
Yes.
Curtis is my younger brother. I know he
So,
doesn't look younger than me, but
so,
he is my younger brother.
so you are 25, but then he's 20. So we can. I'm guessing about your ages.
Yeah, yeah. I like you already. Yeah. I'm 60. I'll be 66 this year. And
So,
Kurt will be, I think, 64.
oh my God, I was thinking you are 25. Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
was 40 years ago. I was 25.
So, sir, you looking handsome now too. So, uh, today, I love those your cap and your dressing as well. So, sir, beautiful, sir. Sir, would you like to introduce yourself? Where have you been working throughout these years? What is your expertise?
Absolutely. I've always been in sales for a long time. I was in some kind of sales, and a lot of times I was doing MLM, network marketing, all that stuff. And I got to a point where I didn't want to do that anymore. But my career was in sales anyway. I sold home building products for the real large homes on Lake Michigan, mostly Chicago execs. Most of the homes I worked on were 800,000 to 7.4 million, $7.5 million, big stuff. And I've been so blessed in my life. I can't tell you how much I've been blessed. The people that I know, the people that I've been with, I've just been a very blessed man. And I don't know what else to say, but I had a great career, mostly in sales. Always been in sales.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Sir, singing is your profession, or this is your hobby? So
Well, I sang, I guess you would say professionally, because I got paid for it. Back with me and my wife, we sang for about 37 years in Southern gospel. So we would go around mainly to Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, Ohio, and we would sing on the weekends or whatever. And then when the girls got older, we went with the girls, and they sang with us. So I guess it's kind of semi-professionally. I never did it full time. I didn't want to rely on that full time, but I did sing and make extra money. But I always had another job. I had a very good career.
sir, when you started your singing, when you have a good voice, you have to sing.
Absolutely. A funny thing about that, my whole family sang. And
Oh,
when I remember in Texas, when they would be practicing, I was just a little guy, 5 years old or whatever. Sing. I couldn't carry a tune at all. And but I loved to sing. And I remember my dad saying, "Where is Marlon?" Marlon's my real name. Kurt probably told you that. But Milo's my stage name. But he would go, "Where is Marlon?" Man, he says, "I hear someone way off key," and it was always me. But now I probably sing more than all of the other ones, put together. I just sing all the time. I always say I've never seen a mic that I didn't like.
yes, sir. Of course, sir. Sir, you mean when I'll come Texas, so I'll start singing as well. So everyone singer there. So
That's right. You come to Nashville. You come to
yes,
Nashville. I'll take you out. We'll go out singing.
sir.
I'll put you right up in front of the mic, man, and it's a
Sir,
good time.
we can make a band, sir.
Yeah, there you go. We get Tim Johnson, all of them down. We can just make our own passive band.
Yes, sir. Sir, Curtis, sir, sing the songs.
Oh,
Curtis.
Kurt's a good singer. Kurt's a
Oh,
real good singer.
so
But he also writes poems. And I
oh,
didn't know he did that till my wife got sick. That's the first time I ever knew him to write a poem. Was my wife got sick. He wrote a poem. I didn't believe him. And I told him, I said, "You didn't write that poem." He said, "Yeah, I did." I said, "Write another one." The next day he wrote another one. I said, "Where are you getting these poems?" He said, "I wrote it." I said, "No, you didn't." And he said, "Yes, I did." I said, "Well, write me another one." The next day he wrote one about the previous 2 days. And I said, "Kurt, you wrote that poem." He said, "I told you I wrote them." And so it's kind of a funny deal. Now he can write a poem. I mean, I don't care if you got a birthday, if you got an anniversary, if you got, someone leaves unexpectedly, Kurt can write a poem in a second for you. He's really good at it. So he started writing on passive poems, the daily on passive poems. And if you haven't listened to them, man, they are great. He sends them to me every night at 8 o'clock, and I read them, put them to music or whatever, and read them for him.
nice, sir. Nice, sir. Sir, I would like to know about your journey with On Passive, including when and how did you join, how it has changed your personal and professional life. So, actually, this is my favorite question. Everyone has their own answers, so I like to know these answers to everyone. So,
Absolutely. Everyone's got their own personal experience or personal story, and mine is mine.
yes.
It's what happened to me. A lady named Candace Keller called me up and she said, "Hey Milo," she says, I'm in with this new company, and she says, "It's really good." And she started explaining it to me. Of course, this was back in 2018. There wasn't that much known about it. He had a couple videos out, and she says, that the computer, the AI is going to bring people in, and you don't have to do it, and you got these levels and blah 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 blah. And I said, Candace, it won't work.
So
She said, well, I don't know. She says he says it will. Ken Russo was the guy that brought her in, and said, no, I said, there's no way. I said, that's utopia. I said, there is no company that is going to do all the work for you and then pay you for doing it. I said, that's ridiculous. No one's going to do that. And she said, well, I don't know. She said, that's what he said. I said, well, it's not going to work. I said, I'm not interested because I said, I'm done with MLMs. I'm done with network marketing because even though I can do it myself, because I get out there and I hustle and I bring in people, but the people that I bring in, sometimes whether they can't do it or they won't do it, one or the other, they don't do their part, and then it looks bad because they lose money, and then I got to start rebuilding all the time. I said, I'm too old for it. I'm tired of it. And she goes, okay, well, I just thought I'd give it to you. I said, all right, well, yeah, no, I'm not interested. And I remember I hung up the phone and I was getting my van, the old missions check, and I pulled out on the road and I had about 15 minutes to get back home. And in that 15 minutes, there was this little voice or little guy on my shoulder saying, what if it is true? I said, it's not. It said, well, but what if it is true? I said, it's not. It can't be. It said, no one's going to do that. But really, what if it is true? And I said, it's not. And they said, well, you'll never know unless you try. And said, do you know you spend more than that on a good meal? And I says, I know it, but at least I get something. I'm not doing it. And I argued with this thing back and forth all the way home. And I got home and it's still arguing with me, that what if it is real? What if this thing really does work? And so I knew at that point I was not going to get no sleep that night and probably a few more nights if I didn't join, because what if I missed out on the biggest opportunity of a lifetime, which it seemed like this was, but I'm thinking in my mind, there's no way that this can be correct. So finally I had enough. I called Candace up. I said, Candace, she said, yeah. I said, send me that link over. I'm going to sign up. I don't believe it, but I said, I'm going to sign up anyway. So I signed up, and I listened and I listened to those couple webinars that Ash had out and recordings, and I thought, man, this guy was pretty convincing, So I signed up Curtis. Curtis, I always tell him, I say, hey, you got to do this, and he goes, man, I always have to do everything you do. And we laugh about it, but he said, I don't remember how it worked out, but anyway, I said, you got to sign up. And so he signed up. I signed up on September 1st, 2018. He signed up on September 5th of 2018. And then I realized that, hey, what if there is something to that? Then I brought in my two daughters, my grandchildren, a couple girlfriends and stuff like that. And so I just kind of let it sit. I didn't do anything with it for probably the first year. And then in November of 2019, I had a one of these timeshares. I had one in Vegas and I had one in Orlando, and I got rid of them because I thought they were a money pit. I said, I don't want them, I lost a lot of money on it. Well, they come back and they said, hey, we want you to come back. We want you to reconsider. I said, I'm not interested. They said, we want you to reconsider. I said, I'm not interested. They said, you can come for free, and you get 4 days, 5 nights or something. All you got to do is pay your flight. So I checked on flights to Vegas. It was 88. And I thought, well, man, for a week, I can go stay for 88 bucks. That's pretty good. I looked at Orlando. It was 39. So I thought, I'm going to Orlando. So I fly into Orlando, and I really don't have nothing to do. I'm just going down there to rest and stuff. So I'm down there resting, and all of a sudden I think, man, that company that Candace told me about is down here. And so I remember I called her up, and at that time, there was maybe only 2,000 founders in, or 3,000, maybe 10,000 founders. There wasn't many. And so I remember texting Ash, and I said, Ash, just wondering if, maybe I could come by. I'm a founder with the company. I'd like to stop in and see you. And he goes, man, he says, he texted me back. He said, I would love to. He says, but I'm working just around the clock. We're trying to get this software together. And he says, the people in India are on a different time. So he says, I have to work when they do. And I said, oh, no problem. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll be at Denny's tonight from 9 to 11, which was right around the corner from his office. I said, I'll just sit there for a couple hours. If you can make it in, great. So at about 10:30, he texts me. He says, Milo, he says, there's no way I can't do it. So I said, no problem. I said, I'll do the same tomorrow night. So Saturday night, did the same thing. Went down there from 9 to 11, waited for Ash. At 10:30, he texts me and says, man, there's just no way I can get out of this meeting today. He says, are you there tomorrow? I said, I'm here tomorrow. I said, I'm here till, I said, I've got to be at the airport at 3 o'clock. So, or no, 4 o'clock. I had to leave there by 3. And well, he said, man, I really want to see you. I said, well, I want to see you too. And so I said, I'll be over there at noon. If you get a chance, come by. So I'm at Denny's, and it was probably, I don't know, it's probably 1 o'clock or something. All of a sudden, Ash walks through the door. He's 40 feet away. The biggest smile I ever seen in my life. And Ash comes over. And at the time, I stood up and stuck out my hand like I was gonna, a gentleman a handshake. And he just wraps his arms around me and he says, brother, brother. He said, it's so good to see you. And I'll tell you, it was like I met a new brother that I didn't even know. It was the most amazing thing, the passion that I felt coming from him. We sat down and we started talking. Of course, I'm a musician, and so I was one thing I was really wanting to know is, hey, are you going to make a software that I can play, with a guitar player in Washington, a bass player in New York, a drummer in California, and a steel guitar player in Florida? Can I do that? And you know how Ash's eyes will roll in his head sometimes when he's thinking? That's what it did. And he sits there and he just stopped for a minute, and then he goes, Milo, he goes, I will tell you, right now, it's not possible. He said, the internet is not fast enough. And he called interpolacy or whatever. And I've heard that before, that because the speed of sound and traveling, it just can't be done physically. But they were working on it. And Ash says, I will tell you this, he said, as soon as it's available, it will be available to us. He said, because that's what we're about. And when he said that, it kind of struck a chord with me. Hey, here's a guy that doesn't, there's nothing outside the range. In other words, I'm asking him about something that's not even available. He's not telling me no. He's just saying it's not there right now, but he will do it. Now that's an incredible thing, Then he got to talking, and he had his the back of, I think he filled up the back of 4 Denny sheets, with how he would draw and say this and that. But he told me something that was very, very good. I mean, to me, that I wanted to hear was, he said, Milo, he says, something's wrong with our world. He says, do you realize? He says, we've got people, we've got families. He says, I did very well in my life. He said, I don't think I couldn't spend my money in my life. My kids couldn't spend their money. I don't think my grandkids could spend the money, but he says, I don't consider myself wealthy. He said, the wealthy people in the world, he said, some of the families and stuff, do you realize? He said, they could give $1 million to everybody in the world, and they still couldn't spend their money in their lifetime. And I thought, man, what a visionary. I mean, here's a guy that's talking about helping the homeless, helping, disabled American vets, helping all these different people with money, apples, as we say, that's coming in, and so his heart become one with mine. All of a sudden I realized that this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do my whole life. I don't, I want to help people. That's what it's all about. Now, I know that we need a vehicle, because some people will say, well, you can't just give away, and you can't. But we have a vehicle where we sell products that brings in money that all of a sudden allows us to help other people, which brings in subscription, which explodes, and brings more apples back to us, and we can keep doing that over and over and over. And I say a lot of times, on the Julie and Milo show, and now the ONPASSIVE Milo show, but I would say, hey, here's the deal. How many oranges can an orange create? And I think it was Les Brown that actually had brought this up, and someone had mentioned it on a webinar. But it really got with me because a seedless, not a seedless orange, but a seeded orange. So when you really think about that, how many can it make? It's an infinite amount, because if that orange has 24 seeds, it doesn't make another 24 oranges. It makes 24 orange trees that produces. That's what ONPASSIVE is about. It gives you a chance to bring someone in, but at the same time, they're allowed to, it's going to bring people in for them. And believe me, when the first nickel drops into someone's wallet, you don't have to sell. People's going to ask you, hey, where'd you get your new car? Oh, ONPASSIVE. You haven't heard about it? They're going to want to know about ONPASSIVE. So it's not where we have to sell. We just have to tell them, hey, it's on ONPASSIVE. And all of a sudden, people's going to start coming in. And when Ash says, it's not, we're not going to be hunting people. They're going to be hunting us. It is so true. And we just have such big things ahead for us. It's amazing.
Excellent, sir. Wonderful, wonderful. You explained and detailed answers. So wonderful, sir. Sir, as you are the one of the lucky founders and leaders who have met with Mr. Ash Mufare. And how was your experience in Boston? In Boston, 30th March, the event day. And at that time I was too invited in Hyderabad, India, but unfortunately due to some visa issue I could not go there. So I was the only out for India, so I was supposed to go there, but I could not go. But I was watching the leaders, some leaders going Boston, some in Hyderabad. So it was awesome. So how was the experience you met with Mr. Ash and other leaders? So you first time went to Boston to meet Mr. Ash?
I did. It was an incredible experience. I got called on a Monday night, needed to be there Tuesday. Got my ticket, headed there. The most incredible experience, not only meeting Ash, but meeting the other founders. I can't tell you how wonderful that felt. Meeting Ash was wonderful. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, all those other founders, when we were there was 20 of us there, and you're there with Michael Williams and, all the different ones. It was an incredible experience to all be in the same room, and then to watch Ash work his magic. I just kind of stood back, and, when I first got there, of course, Ash he come like running towards me and was gonna jump on me, or whatever. He makes you feel so good. He really does. I mean, there's not a stranger, and I've seen him do that with every one of us, But it was incredible, and to watch how he works. Not only did he interact with the top leaders of the company, but he also interacted with, me, with everyone that was there. But he also interacted, you could see him interact with the people at the front desk at the hotel, the people serving. Everybody loved Dash because he makes everybody feel special. I can't tell you how much fun you're going to have when you meet Mr. Ash Mufare, because he is one of a kind, and he is an amazing person.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Excellent, sir. Sir, you have great contribution in ONPASSIVE through your shows. So previously you are doing Julie and Milo show, or currently you are doing the ONPASSIVE Milo show. So we start from the Julie and Milo show. So how you started this show? So Julie ma'am and you live in same city, or how you interacted with regarding this show?
No, we're opposite ends of the world almost. I'm up in Nashville. She's way out in California. So we're
Oh,
probably 1,500 miles apart, I would think.
Oh,
I happened to be in another business, and she was in, and I had a show called the Milo Show or whatever with that one. And then, when we were there, and I talked to her, and I actually brought Julie in, and said, "Hey, you need to get in this," and I brought her in, and we talked. And I don't remember, we were talking one night, and about how we need to help our people, understand what ONPASSIVE is about, and do something. She said, well, we should do a video. And the funny thing about it is the video was going to be about how I met Ash down in Florida. And that was the first video that we created. And I look back on some of those videos and I go, oh man, we weren't very good, but we got out there and we done it. And then we started interviewing founders, and that took on a life of its own. Then we started having presenters, and then there was this one thing after another. We would find a way to move it on, and we kind of have stalled the Julie and Milo, put it on pause. It's still there. The Julie and Milo show is still there. It's just that both of us at this point, we realize that we can do more if we're apart. If she takes some and she does her thing, I take some and do my thing. So she's with the California Angels and all that, and I wish her all the success in the world. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. And I am going towards entertainers. I want to work with entertainers, singers, songwriters, because that's my field. I know a lot of them, so I'll be able to work with that. I know what they need. I know how I can help them out. I'm also a religious or in churches. My dad was a preacher. I was in the church, and I know some of it's political. I don't get into all that now, but I don't think anybody helps the world more than churches. They have an arm that sticks out that will help the people who need help. And I feel that's a big thing, whether it's at home, it's foreign missions, it's helping the homeless, it's feeding the hungry, it's helping the people with the different diseases that they have. Churches are a main point that can get that done, can help people. I want to help them and show them how, hey, if you get a spot, and then you put this one under, you put this one under, all of a sudden you're getting these apples are coming in. You want a building fund? Okay, start a building fund. Put the apples in there, and all of a sudden you don't have to worry about a payment, because you're not going to have one. It will pay it out of that building fund. So there's so many things we can do. I'm also very passionate about, I lost my wife to cancer, and I don't, I'm really not interested in putting money into a cure, because I believe there's many cures out there for cancer. I think it's being held back by certain people. And when Ash talks about, we're going to be the correction to the corruption, I believe that's some of it. But I want to, no one, I remember as a cancer, I didn't have cancer, but my wife did. And it will take a family down. We were on top of the world. I had a nice nest egg. I built a brand new, beautiful home. I just had grandchildren. Cooper was born, Reagan was born, and then all of a sudden, my wife's stricken with cancer. She was the most inspirational person I ever knew. I say this, I'd seen a quote once that said, if it wasn't for the downside of cancer, everyone should experience it. And I believe that, because cancer will change your life. It will make you realize life is a beautiful thing. If you can breathe, you just go like that. You are blessed. You don't know how blessed you are, but some people, maybe they've never experienced cancer, but they've experienced other things. I want to be able to take cancer patients and make sure that, hey, when there's a cancer patient out there, they don't have to worry like I did at one point. Do I pay for the medicine this month, or do I make my mortgage payment? No one should have to do that. I want to bless people like that. So that's my heart. That's where I'm going. And that's why we've kind of split, a little bit. There's no hard feelings, nothing like that. In fact, as soon as ONPASSIVE launch, we plan on going back to the founders that we had did stories on before, and we want to do like Paul Harvey said. You want to hear the rest of the story. We want to take it after they've been in ONPASSIVE. Okay, now how did this help you? What are you doing at this point? You know, because we can all say, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. But until it gets there and we do it, it's a different thing. And so we want to bring that out. It's going to be a good show. So be looking for those.
Wonderful, sir. You have a good heart. And previously you were doing with Julie ma'am. She's wonderful lady. And currently she is doing with Susie ma'am wonderful show Spotlight. So and you are doing as well good. So sir, now you are doing Saturday 2 EDT PM to 4
Yeah.
PM Saturday the ONPASSIVE Milo show. So how is how is your experience now? So did you change anything from previous show to now?
I'm sorry, did I what?
Did do you feel any change from previous show to now?
Not really. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, you know, our show was always we tried to be uplifting, and that's what I still try to do. You know, to be uplifting. And yesterday we had Willow Griffith, who works with battered women. You know, and we go through things. And we have an open mic where people can talk, and you know it's fun to watch people when they first come into ONPASSIVE and they're tentative and they're scared about talking, and then all of a sudden they come out and they talk a little bit, and then pretty soon it's a little bit more, and pretty soon they're dynamic speakers, you know, that come out, you know. So we love it. I mean, I love it. I love where the show's going. I'm excited about it, you know. Yeah, I don't think it's lost any steam whatsoever. She does the Wednesday, I do the Saturday. It allows us both, you know, a little bit of time, because we all got the same amount of time, but you do have to have time for your family and other things.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Sir, inshallah, I'll join your show in coming weeks. So I must join, and you are doing wonderful shows, sir. Um, you, you do see many products in ONPASSIVE. So what is your favorite product, sir? Before I ask this question, one thing I forgot: the ONPASSIVE Milo show song.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, man. People like that. That was something that I wrote. You know, I wrote it for the.
I don't want miss anything.
Ah, there you go. I wrote it for the Julie Milo show, and now I've changed it to the ONPASSIVE
Yes.
show, and
Yes.
I can do it for you if you like. You want me to do it?
Sure, sure, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, here we go. This is the way I start all my shows off. So
So,
I say, hey, here we go. You ready for the ONPASSIVE Milo show? ONPASSIVE Milo show is here today. You don't want to miss a single word they say. Bringing you founders from a near and far. Listen as they tell you now just who they are. Listen to the stories and how they tell. In just 3 minutes how they're doing well. Telling us what it's all about today. And how they are loving that ONPASSIVE way. ONPASSIVE. It's a here to stay ONPASSIVE. There's just no better way to listen to the ONPASSIVE Milo show. So then you can be the very first to know ONPASSIVE. It's a here to stay. ONPASSIVE Milo show is coming your way Saturday. ONPASSIVE. Yeah.
excellent, sir.
Milo, take it away. Here's Milo.
Excellent, sir.
That's the way I usually do it.
Excellent, sir. Excellent, sir. So,
Thank you,
sir, next question about product. What is your favorite product in ONPASSIVE? I know every product has its own importance. Every product for me is like a company. So I love every product, but specifically, which product you like most?
Man, can I pick 3?
Yes.
All right, well, good, because it'd be tough to pick one. Let me pick the 3 that I like the best, okay? And I'm going to tell you why I like them best. Oatmeal. I love oatmeal because number one, as a marketer, you could never send out 1,000,000 emails at once. You know, you have to send them out in batches, whether that's 500 or 5,000 or even 50,000 at a time. Now, it takes you a long time to send out 1,000,000 emails doing it that way. Can you imagine having a button that says send and you put 1,000,000 names in there and you go, boom, you hit send and it goes to every one of them. That's incredible. Okay, the second thing that it has autoresponders. There's no email system that I know of that has autoresponders. They have autoresponders. They have an autoresponder that like a vacation. So Gmail, you can put in it that when an email comes in, it goes boom, it goes, hey, we're on vacation. We'll be back this date or whatever. But there's nothing that will actually take and say, look at that email and say, oh, this is about this, and it will send them back a message. This will have that. It will have an autoresponder. So can you imagine sending someone a message that says, hey, you should join our ONET. It's a great product, and tell them a little about the product, and they send you a message back that says, hey, that ONET sounds cool. What about this? And they got a question, and it goes, boom, it sends an email back. You don't even have to answer it, because if that question has been answered before, it's in the queue and it sends it back. It sends it back a response. So it takes away all the heavy lifting for you with that, so it's amazing product by itself. And then when you think it also, remember, with ONPASSIVE, everything is unlimited. There's no, this is where it stops. So in other words, you never run out of space. Right now on my Gmail, I get this thing that, hey, you're running out of space. And I'm like, yeah, hurry up ONPASSIVE, right? Anyway, the other thing, I don't know if you remembered, if you were around, but probably a year ago or 8 months ago, I was on a webinar and I said to Mr. Ash, I said, Ash, I said, is it possible that OMail will be able to text to phones? Can you take the OMail and text out to phone? And he said, Milo, it will be done. You'll be able to do it. So can you imagine now you have people's phone numbers, rather than emails? Do you know that a person opens their text, their phone messages 90% of the time? They open their emails 30% of the time. It's a big difference there. All of a sudden you get a lot more open rates. So OMail to me is this wonderful program that we're going to have, and have it very soon. Okay. Also, you'll be able to send, if you want to do a video, you just, if you don't like typing, hey, just hit the button and record and say, hey, so-and-so, what are you doing? I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm blah, 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 boom, hit the button. You don't have to wait for it. It's like, it sends out just like a text. There's no waiting for it. That stuff blows my mind. It's beautiful. Okay, so that's OMail. All right, the second thing, Ocademy. I love Ocademy. I think, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's got a $300 billion market cap. What does that mean? That means that a whole lot of people use that space right now. Whether it's, there's some different products out there, but none of them have all the features that ONPASSIVE has. So now you're going to be able to take a person. It'll no longer, I don't think it'll no longer be, you will go to YouTube to type in how to. You'll go to ONPASSIVE Ocademy and you'll type in, how do I change the engine in a car? And boom, email or someone will have it in there, how to change the engine on that car. And it could be even, how do I change the engine on a 1967 Corvette? And boom, that video will come up, because it's going to be using AI. It's going to make things so much easier for us. Whatever we're doing, you can do it. If it's a musician, say it's a musician. I have a friend that's a bass player. He's played for all the big people, And so what's he going to do? When ONPASSIVE launch, I want him to be the first to come on board. And his name is David Santos. You can look him up on the Google him if you want to. but he's played with everyone. He's played with Billy Joel. He's played with Elton John, you know, Melissa Etheridge, Tommy Shaw, and the Shondells. You know, he's played with everybody. Now, would that be an advantage to someone wanting to learn to play bass? Would they want to learn to play bass from him? Absolutely. You know, so it's going to find people who want to play bass, and even the bass players that are out there that want to learn more, they will be dropped into his funnel. And he doesn't really, I mean, whether he charges or not, it doesn't matter. What's going to matter is, you know, that people go to his site, and if he's given, you know, a lesson or whatever, and there's 5,000 people there, because remember, we're going to be in 212 countries. So if there's 5,000 people there and he's making $5 a person, that's $25,000, you know. But that's not the key. The key is to drop into the sales funnel. And if they end up buying a subscription to ONPASSIVE, now every month he gets paid. And guess what? Every time there's a new product, he gets a pay raise, and we get a pay raise. It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing, the way that works. That's number 2. Number 3 is OConnect. OConnect gets me excited because it's here again. There's no limit to how many you can have. Right now, I pay $26, I believe, for 100 people on my Zoom call. Okay, $26 a month. Do you realize when this opens up, I no longer have to pay that $26, but not only do I have 100 people, I can have billions of people. There's no limit to what I can have. Now, think of the music industry, and let's take a Garth Brooks, who's a huge, I don't know if he's big over there, but in the United States, Garth Brooks is huge. Okay. And you know, he can go around the world. He can put it on like a TV show and sing and show his concert. And guess what? Everyone that goes there, he gets a shot at them getting a subscription to ONPASSIVE. Can you imagine how that will change his life? You know, how it will change other people's life, because now all these people are going there, they're buying in, and all of a sudden they're making money too, you know, and you got places, I like to say this a lot of times, it gets forgotten, but right now only 59.2% of the world gets internet. What happens when 100% of it gets? The reason the 40% don't get it is whether it's, you know, maybe they live out in the sticks, maybe there's, you know, if you're on the ocean, you can't get it, you know, different places that you can't get the internet. Now, it's true, there's probably a few that just don't want the internet, but the majority of people would take it if they could have it. Now, you not only give them the internet, you give them a business, you give them a bank, because remember, OWallet is your bank. So you give them a phone. Now they can connect to the internet. They have a bank. They can make purchases to whatever they want to. If it's music, if it's whatever you're selling, you know, your Amazon store, they'll have access to all of that. Will they have money? Yeah, they will have money also, because the money comes in through ONPASSIVE. It's a whole ecosystem, and it just works around the clock like that. The most incredible thing I've seen, and you know, I know that Ash said one point, he said, I want you to, he come in the room and he says, I'm Ash Mufaro. He says, I'm your friend. He says, I want you to know that 212 countries have accepted our financial system. He said, and I will tell you, it's not the dollar. And I think he said it's not Bitcoin, but I'm not sure. It might have been Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. It's something other than those two things. But we have been approved, right? And he was smiling from ear to ear, man, and looking good. And then he said to us, I'll never forget this. He says, I want you to dream. And so he gave us a few seconds, and we started dreaming about what we wanted and what ONPASSIVE was going to do for us. And he says, then he comes back on, he goes, no. He said, I want you to dream. He said, I want you to dream bigger. You got to dream much bigger than what you're dreaming. And I'm thinking, man, I thought that was pretty big. And I sat back and I dreamed even bigger, you know. And then Ash made a statement that to me, man, was just like, wow. He said, I don't care how much you dream. He said, it doesn't matter. He said, this thing is 1 million times bigger than that. let me tell you, a million is a lot of zeros behind a one, you know, and that's what we're in for. I don't think any of us realize how much this is going to do, what it's going to do for us. You know, I think, you know, when you talk to Ash and Ash says, you know, you don't, Marty, you don't even know 10%. You're not even you know, you're just very couple percent. And you think about that and you say, man, it seems like I know a lot, and this is going to be such a big blessing to me. But now you're telling me that it's bigger. That's what we have. That's what we have. I think if you're a founder right now, you need to thank him. Thank you know, you're blessed. You're blessed. Things are in a wonderful place for you, you know, and it's a beautiful thing that's happening right now with ONPASSIVE. And if you're not in, if you're sitting on the fence, I would get in as quick as I could. I know you can't get in right now unless you know someone's got a pending founder spot, and there's a few pending founders still out there that they can transfer to you, but you can't actually get in. But what I want to tell you, if you are sitting on the fence, as soon as whoever you listen to and you can get signed up, man, you call them, get the information so you can get signed up, because it's all date and time stamped. And the sooner you get in, the better you off. When we're talking that, you know, it's possible that 10,000 to a million people a day are going to be coming in. You don't have to wait too many days and you're down 2 million, you know. And remember, it's a date and time stamp. So I encourage all of you to, you know, do it.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thanks for this detailed and informative answer. And sir, mostly guests chose O Connect and O Academy like you, except Dr. Bill Williams. He said, give the name of Oh My Life.
Uh,
By chance I made a I made a video. Uh, uh, in this video, I put my memory, my pictures, my wedding, and my father and my family, and backside song I played. So he enjoyed very well. And now I want to show, if you allow me, another song I made for Founders Unity. If you remember, in the start of this year, in front of Ash, I shared my screen and played a song of Founders Unity. So I want to show another song, if you allow me, sir.
sure.
Just a minute, sir. Do you hear voice clear?
Yeah.
I wanted to give up. I'm done with all the things I'm going through. I'm trying to keep my head up. I try to win, but every time I lose. Should be getting better. I try, but I don't know what to do. But this ain't forever. I just wanna make a breakthrough. But something inside said never give up. All of these setbacks are major setups. If I keep on fighting, if I keep on trying, if I aim for the sky, one day things will go my way. One day things will go my way. One day things will go my way. I've gotta hang in there. Deep down I know one day things will change. I can't live in fear. I know I've got to push through the pain. I've gotta believe in myself. Yeah. If it's not me, then no one else will. There's something inside said never give up. All of these setbacks are major setups. If I keep on fighting. wanna try it. If I aim for the sky, one day things will go my way. 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 Can't give in, can't give up. Today could be my day. Can't give in, can't give up. Everything can change. I won't give in, I won't give up. Today could be my day. I won't give in, I won't give up. One day things will go my way. 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 जो कैद में थे सारे परिंदे पर भी है ये भूल गए थे जो झुकते थे उन कांधों पे सर भी है ये भूल गए थे एक घोंसला कैसे बनता है एक दिन का देख के याद आया पहले तो ठीक सोच आई हर तो फिर सोच के बाद आया एक सोच पे है मीनार बना एक सोच पे है मीनार बना वो सोच संभाल भी सकते हैं सब अपने नजरिए पास रखो हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं सब अपने नजरिए पास रखो हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं अपने नजरिए पास रखो हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं अपने नजरिए पास रखो हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं याद रहे कि कोई वजह है पास अपने जो अपनी जगह है जान से ज्यादा खर्चा आया घर अपने तब नाम लगा है रस्ते पर दिल जब आया हो मंजिल तक भागना होता है कर जागना हो उससे पहले एक हौसला जागना होता है एक सोच पे है मीनार बना एक सोच पे है मीनार बना वो सोच संभाल भी सकते हैं सब अपने नजरिए पास रखो हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं सब अपने नजरिए पास रखो हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं अपने नजरिए पास रखो हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं अपने नजरिए पास रखो हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं भी सकते हैं, सब अपने नजरिए पास रखो, हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं, सब अपने नजरिए पास रखो, हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं, अपने नजरिए पास रखो, हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं, अपने नजरिए पास रखो, हम अपना नजरिया रखते हैं।
So this is the little effort from my side. Actually, the purpose was motivation for founders, and the lesson is unity. So I makes sometimes these type things. I try my best. So did you like the video?
Was good.
So sir, last question. I want to ask many questions, but it's the time shortage. So the last question, as we all know, foundership has been closed forever. So what do you see next coming phase in coming month?
Well, I mean, I don't have no crystal ball, so I don't know. But what I think is going to happen, I think that, we're going to release the products and we're going to be able to start putting them out. We're going to use them. We're going to be able to give them to other people, or they can buy them. Maybe they'll be able to buy them and come on. And remember, Ash has always said that that bonus period is going to be so good that founders won't care if we ever launch. So I think that once that comes, whether we're selling products or we're trying to get it out there, we don't want to miss that, whatever it is, 3 to 5 week 3 to 5 weeks that we're able to bring in founders, because remember, resellers, not founders, resellers. Remember, it's always been said that as founders, what we paid for, what we get to do is we get to build our team, pre-build our team. I believe at that time, the 3 to 5 weeks, we'll be able to build our team of resellers up, and so that when it globally launches, that we will have our people built up.
Yes, sir. So in last, any message for founders, especially Pakistani founders?
Just know that you're in a great place, and follow the leaders, and know that it's going to get better. It's going to get a lot better. And we just, I can't tell you, if you're a founder, what a great position you are in, how you're going to be able to change the world, how it's going to change your world. Ash Mafaro had once said, I might not be able to change the world, but I can change somebody's world. And then, the other quote was that came out. I actually said it was ONPASSIVE is changing the world, one person at a time, and it started with Ash Mafaro. So if you can think of that, what basically that's saying is Ash can't change the whole world, but he could change somebody's world. He changed my world. Okay, now I'm able to change other people's worlds. And we've got 1.4 million people that are now able to change other people's world. We will change the world.
True saying, sir. Inshallah, I'll see you in next coming webinars or any interview. So I close this session from this. I really enjoyed this session, and time has passed. I didn't notice. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming. You gave me your precious time. We are so in it to win it.
Absolutely in it to win it, man, and we're going to do it. Be blessed. I loved every one of you founders. Thank you. Thank you, Pakistan people, for the job well done that you guys are doing. Thank you, Waseem.
Thank you very much.